Hi friends! I'm about to put on a mud mask and thought maybe we could chat. And my husband went to go watch a movie with his friend and he said he didn't invite me because it's a World War II movie. And I said, boring, people killing each other. I started watching Pride and Prejudice the other day, the 1995 version, and he was calling it a talking movie. I love dialogue. Hi, John. How are you? John, do you like to do mud masks? Can you guys hear Sabrina singing? She's playing in her room and I hear her singing random stuff. Hi, Lynn. I'm good. You know, as good as can be. Hi, Charles. Heather. What are you guys up to? John, you haven't lived until you tried a mud mask. Do you have facial hair, though? Because that might ruin the experience. Um, I've had this forever. It's a avocado, kaolin clay, and rosemary mud mask. Yeah, Heather is here to ban people who get out of control. So far, I don't see any troublemakers here. Uh-oh. That was not a toot. That was the mud mask. Honest. Okay. Hi, Gadgets. Gadget says, read this. Okay. Oh, Lynn, it's midnight for you? It's, um, I don't know what time it is here. Hi, Malta. Okay, so I'm going to put this stuff on my face. I'm breaking out. It could be a hormonal thing. It could be all the makeup I put on for my romantic toilet paper video. Hi, Diana. Yeah, Diana, you kind of have to keep her under control. I guess I won't be able to... Hi, P. Hines. Guess I won't be able to touch the screen while I have this on my face. That's how I make the comments appear. Hi, Alex. I will try to greet everyone. Sometimes, if I watch the chat replay afterwards, I'll discover some comments from people I wasn't able to see during the live stream, which is weird. What do you guys do for self-care? I don't know how long it's been since I've had the house to myself, but that's kind of one of my favorite things, is when my husband takes all of the kids away. And then I can watch anything I want without anyone complaining. And I can work on a project or just clean without anyone asking me to get them something to eat again, even though I just got them something. Heather, you don't do self-care? Sure thing, Alex. Hello, baby, 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 aka Music Logic. How are you? Our son is leaving for Army in a couple weeks or so. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm telling myself that once I see he's having a swell time, that I'll be okay. So I'm a little concerned that he'll end up quarantined or that they'll delay things and he'll get stuck somewhere for a while. Chat hasn't been working. Is it just when you're on mobile or something? Alex, you drink water? That's really good. I love water. It's my favorite drink. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. Okay. I'm back. So we're possibly going to be looking at getting a family cell phone plan because it used to be when you join the Army, they have a phone for you to use, but apparently now they don't because everyone has cell phones, but everyone doesn't include our son. He doesn't have one. And then, I don't know, trying to figure out if that's affordable or not, but he could pay towards it since he will have his expenses covered and he'll just be getting money from the military. Thanks, Alex. Oh, you're having problems with the chat in your home computer? Sometimes it happens to me and then I have to refresh, and sometimes I even have to restart. Like one time I was starting a and I had to restart the computer. That was so annoying. Malta, you bought a 12-pack? Is that beer? I ate chocolate today. I just heard we went to our friend's open house the other night for her wedding, and my friend sent me home with a bag of chocolate caramels. I just remembered. I'm like, oh, I have that in my purse. um, what was I gonna say? Oh, hi Charles. I actually talked to a scammer today, and I was gonna go edit that video, and then one of my kids got on the computer and started playing games. So I decided I'd get on and live stream instead. It would have taken probably a good while for me to edit anyway. But this, Diana, he didn't go on a mission. He chose the military instead. Hi, Melly. Thanks so much. Super chat. Oh, it's a cute sticker. Anyway, I just took the girls to the dentist today. Carmen had a bracket fall off months ago, and that wasn't considered an emergency. And they were quite late on their dental visit, so their dental appointments had to be canceled during the lockdown. And their previous appointment, they said that Sabrina had some cavities starting and they wanted to keep an eye on them. And of course, this whole quarantine thing has made life a lot more difficult, and just it's been hard to function day to day. It's hard to explain, but it's just been a really overwhelming time. So I was dreading today, and now they said she has 4 cavities that have to be filled, and it's baby teeth. And I've been really naggy with her for a long time. Like, your teeth are gonna get holes. Your teeth could fall out. And then she saw something that said that taught her that some people have gold teeth, and she thinks that would be pretty. And so it was no longer motivational to her to warn her that bad things can happen to your teeth. Oh, thank you, Malta. Hi, Jennifer. You're not late. You're right on time. The face product. It is. The brand is got to be in your face, some avocado thing. I don't know if it actually does anything, but sometimes it's just the, feeling like you're doing something. But I have quite a bit of acne right now. Hi, Alice. How are you? Is this Ghost Watch? Yes, we're watching me, the ghost. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Beth. So, yeah, I was feeling like a failure today and just losery that Sabrina has all these cavities. Um, yeah, just try not to beat myself up too much over it, but it's frustrating. Jennifer says, lucky my daughter came back with no cavities, but needs braces. Yeah, so we paid for Carmen's braces in full right around Christmas time, and then it was still a while before she could get them on. And then she was supposed to have them tightened for the first time in April, and then and she had a bracket fall off. So her braces had been doing basically nothing for months. And then I started to worry, what if this place can't survive financially? What if they had to go bankrupt or something? And then they've got my $5,000 and I'm never going to get it back. Sorry if it's buffering. I see my screen flashing green. Um, but they survived, I imagine, probably with help from the government. Hey, Amo, help. Oh, good night, John. Hi, Lynn. We have two Lyns here now. Anthony, no scam baiting right now. I'm not sure if I could find numbers right now. But I had my first vacation scammer today. They call up and say that you've won a trip. And I had one the other day and they hung up like right after I answered. And so I talked to them for over 20 minutes tonight, and that was fun. I was just getting dinner started. My dough was rising for the stromboli I was making, and it was kind of perfect timing. So I went out on the back deck and had a little fun conversation with them as Sylvia. I could tell you what I said, but then that would kind of give it away, wouldn't it? Thanks, Malta. Carmen got her braces adjusted today, and hopefully no brackets fall off, and hopefully we won't go back to a strict lockdown. Going to the dentist is interesting now because we're supposed to call them from the parking lot when we get there, and then they call us back and let us know when they're ready for us. And then we go upstairs, and this is the weird thing about their clinic is that it's, oh, Alice, thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, you're amazing. um, and they take your temperature, like they do in I Am Legend. Have you seen I Am Legend? So they kind of scan your forehead from a distance. I Am Legend is disturbing. It's like it's a zombie movie, but the zombies actually run rather than being like slow, stupid zombies who I never understand how the zombies catch people in the movies where they are, even I can walk faster than a traditional zombie. But yeah, the ones in I Am Legend, they run and it's freaky. Um, anyway, it kind of makes me feel like that. And they ask you to bring your own pen, and they have a nice big bottle of hand sanitizer after you use their clipboard to fill out the paperwork. And My boys, when they went in by themselves, and I got to go in and sit with Sabrina since she might be difficult. Well, they had to do the X-rays over because she was being too wiggly. They were about to look at it, and it was not a very clear picture. But when she was getting her X-rays done, she was just laughing her head off in there, which is great because she used to be terrified of the dentist and wouldn't even open her mouth for them to look. And back then, the dentist said, please, please, please brush your teeth morning and night because it will be a horrible experience for everyone involved if we ever have to do any cavities. And she was actually excited to go to the dentist today. Now she thinks it's fun, and she'll say, when's my dentist appointment? Like, it was maybe a month after her last one, and she was asking when she could go again. But she was bummed this morning because they don't have the play area open right now. So she was telling me, "Yay, I get to go play on the train thing." And I said, "No, I'm sorry. They don't have that open right now." And it's just been one disappointment after another, for my kids, and it's hard. Melly, you like I Am Legend? I'm live streaming. Um, our friend Yvonne, she can't sleep if she watches scary movies, and so if we make her watch one, she'll spend the night at our house. That was one of the ones that I had her watch. I love to watch people's reactions to scary movies. It cracks me up. There was this time, okay, my husband denies this, but I scared him. There was a time we were getting ready, like we had the place to ourselves. We were dating at the time and his roommates were gone. We were getting ready to watch The Stand by Stephen King, which I think is just, I don't think it's scary. I don't really remember much about it even, but I think the intro was starting. And I went and hid in the little, I don't know what to describe it, kind of little hallway that led to the bathroom. It wasn't really a hallway, it's just kind of the area that has a separate sink and stuff. I wish I had a video of this. I was hiding and he came walking down the hall because I think was he going to his room? I don't remember if he was going to go to the bathroom or what, but I jumped out and went like, "Rah!" And he like jumped and went like he was going to strangle me or something. And then he told me I was like the first person that ever scared him. But then later he took it back and said, "No, you didn't scare me. You startled me." And I said, "I scared you." And I used to do that to my sister too. Oh, in fact, one time my mom used to work for our school district office. I think it was accounts payable or something. And she worked in a cubicle. And when I went to pick her up one day, because I borrowed the car, I'm such a jerk. She wasn't at her cubicle. And so I decided to hide under her desk. And I thought for sure she would see me when she came in. I thought she would just look down and see me. Well, she didn't see me. And so she went and sat down at her desk or stood at it. And I grabbed her legs. Of course, she let out a yelp, and then her coworkers came to see what happened. Yeah, more stories. Why I'm going to hell. Oh, hi, Reason. I'm glad you came for some smiles and laughter. Anthony. Anthony says I scare myself all the time when I look in the mirror. Yeah, my sister used to get really mad at me for hiding in places and scaring her. And Sabrina tries to scare me. I usually don't react, and she's like, "Why weren't you scared?" And so sometimes I'll pretend to be scared just so she can feel good. I don't usually try to scare my husband, but and I didn't think it would scare him when I did jump out at him, and it was hilarious. And I'm glad he didn't strangle me. So that was turned out good. Oh, thanks, Lynn. His laughs are the best. I need laughter every day. Um, I've actually had this mud mask for a long time. It's probably expired. In fact, it probably does more harm than good when I put it on my face, maybe. But I don't know. Let me see if it has an expiration date. I don't see one. I should get some new masks though. So I was planning on making my toilet paper duet video for quite a while. Like I had the concept in my head. I thought when toilet paper makes a comeback and we can actually buy it every time we go to the store, I'll have to make like a happy romantic video about how glad I am that it's back and um but I wasn't expecting things to get harder in other ways, and it just got really hard to get motivated. And then the other day when I made that silly video where I ate ice cream with my mask on, um, that happened because my friends had suggested we go do a silly dance for our friend who got hit by a car. That happened the day I went to go make the video with my friend Elena, and luckily I didn't know right away that it happened. Like I knew something was going on, and the main highway had been closed off, and I had to go around. And I tried to call my husband and ask what's going on. The police are all over the place, and there were like probably 10 sheriff's cars that came into town while I was leaving town. So I knew something bad was going on. And it wasn't too long after whatever group of people came to the area in a U-Haul with plans to smash up some businesses in like the next town over, and it had been rumored that they were actually going to come into our neighborhoods and stuff. So I thought, oh boy, what's going on now? Is there some sort of threat? And then it turned out that our friend got hit by someone who was in a stolen car. Oh, Malta, thank you. That's so generous. Thank you. Um, anyway, she had the right of way. She was crossing the street, and some guy in a stolen car. Why are people who like don't have a license, don't have insurance, and are in a stolen car? Why are they the worst drivers? Like you think they would be extra careful not to draw any attention to themselves, but um, they basically they didn't run over her. They kind of clipped her, knocked her down, and it broke her ankle. And now she has plates and pins and stuff in her ankle and leg. And so that led to a high-speed chase, and the sheriff's getting in an accident with the guy. So now our friend, not only is she in pain, she's dealing with going to court and stuff while in pain and having to testify and stuff. And this person's lawyer, what was the sob story? I think she's telling us something. They said that they should let them out of jail because they're on crutches or something. Oh yeah, I think they were trying to say that he got injured during the arrest, or I don't know. So, but I'm very grateful that she's okay. And after I made the video with Elena, I got back into town and I called my husband while I was getting gas to see if we needed anything from the store that I didn't think of. And he said maybe some flowers for our friends because their daughter got hit by a car. And by flowers because her daughter got hit by a car, I thought he meant that she died. I just freaked out. And then he told me, "Oh, she's okay. She's just in the hospital and has to have surgery." Um, but yeah, I the adrenaline from that, just thinking for a moment that she had died. Um, yeah, I couldn't just get that like, out of my system right away. Ah, so, uh, yeah. So anyway, my friends said, let's go do a dance for her. And one of them made a comment that they knew I was going to show up with awesome makeup. And I actually wasn't really thinking about it at the moment. And I thought, oh yeah, I have to live up to the expectations I have set for myself. And so I showed up in crazy makeup. And this was like, a 5 to 10 minute long thing that we were doing. And I thought, as long as I'm going to the trouble to put on the makeup, I'm going to go do some other silly stuff. And then that kind of got me in the mode to finally make the romantic toilet paper video. And I had actually done the vocals a week or two before that and kept trying to make it perfect, but there was all this background noise and it's just impossible to record with everyone home. And like one of our sons is like nocturnal, so it's not like I can go, okay, when everybody's in bed, then I'm going to record. But also I don't want to like wake up everyone recording either. I don't have a soundproof room to do this in. So I just decided, okay, it's going to have the colored pencil noises at the end. Oh, hi Barbie, thank you. Hi Striker Force. Okay, I'm catching up here. I see some comments I don't know the background of. Oh, reason you liked the chocolate ice cream? Jennifer. How's George? I wonder how Marcel the monkey is doing on his dirty scam. Hi, little Mew Maid. Oh, Malta, good night. So yeah, it's crazy the number of tragedies that have happened since this began. All right, I feel like I'm missing something from Linda here. Where's Linda first comment? Linda says, I beg the court for leniency on the charges of my client killing his parents on the grounds he is an orphan. What? Yeah, Barbie, the toilet paper video. There were parts I thought maybe I shouldn't put that in. Maybe it's just too cringy, but I put it in anyway. I thought people could use the extra laughter. Yeah, so between our son getting ready to leave, and so he came home and told us what day he was leaving for the army, and then like an hour later, did I tell you guys this? My mother-in-law called and said that my husband's uncle had died falling down the stairs that morning. So, of course, that was very upsetting to hear. And when you're upset, it's very hard to make videos, and especially funny videos. And yeah, it doesn't feel right. you're not really in the mood, and it just kind of feels wrong at the same time to have something like that happen. And okay, well, la di da, I'll just go make some funny videos now. And I really wanted to keep making funny videos while all this quarantining is happening, but you know, it's just not very realistic for me. Thanks, Barbie. I like making fun of cheesy videos and cheesy songs, and um, how do I word it? People with sultry looks on their faces, like years ago when I went to Austria, the commercials were really interesting. And there was also a movie we passed. I don't even want to talk about it. There was a movie with someone acting in a very unrealistic way. Never mind. Music Logic is retired and has no more alarm clock. My face is a little stiff. I will probably wipe it off with this washcloth. Hang on a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Feels like I don't have any hot water left. Back to my toilet paper duet. My sister and I used to sing together a lot as teenagers, lots of duets. And she's an alto and I'm a soprano, but we also sang lots of songs that were like guy and girl duets, and lots of times I would sing the guy part for giggles. What about farting babies? Where? Did I miss farting babies? Alice, he doesn't know where he'll be stationed yet. He won't know that until training. That's how it was with my husband, anyway. And he was one of the last guys in his class to find out where he was going to be stationed. And um, usually it kind of happens in groups. Like 3 guys were going to one place, 3 guys to another place. And we actually wanted England and Germany and stuff, and we ended up getting Washington State, where I grew up. I was a little bummed. Alice, are there like compilation videos of farting babies? Is that what you're telling me? Farming babies. I just saw the cutest video of a baby with a wig on, and her mom was just dying and like snorted. It was the cutest thing. And at first the baby's not really sure what to think. Like, is mom happy? What? Because her mom was just like dying. It was so funny. Thanks, Diana. I keep hoping that someday I'll get to do some professional recordings so that my family will be able to have recordings of me singing when I'm not here anymore. And I've had a couple friends who were professional singers but didn't have any recordings. And once they got older, they wish that they had those, but their health was so bad they weren't able to sing anymore. Um, so at least I have something. My family can look back and go, well, she sang Endless Love with herself. Today at the dentist, the dental assistant told Sabrina she should go into acting. She was just being hilarious today. And she showed up in like her pretty Christmas dress. Now that she doesn't have a place, to dress up for, we just wear whatever. Yeah, do a search for Wig Baby. Maybe you'll find the one I did. Stop Hammer Time. So am I saying your name right? Oh, thanks, Barbie. So Sabrina is kind of like me, but more outgoing now than I was at her age. I was actually shy as a kid, like really shy. Not so much around my family, but at school I was always afraid of getting in trouble, and so I was really quiet. I didn't want to be called on ever. I would avoid eye contact. I'm trying to remember what they said to her at the dentist today. Something. They said something about her being smart. And she's like, "Yeah, I am." So she gave them a nice laugh. And they have to spread the patient's way out now, and I kind of wonder if their lack of income will be made up by the government still, since they're not allowed to do back-to-back patients anymore. Yeah, a reason I used to just watch video after video of laughing babies. Like, laughing babies is one of my most favorite sounds or ever. There was a funny one. I think it was a mom. She talking to a cup or something, going, "Look, I am your father," and the baby is just laughing its head off. Hi, Harry. Heather, are you saying I'm shy? Yes, babies, they're my favorite. Oh, my neighbor let me hold her baby, and I was so excited. And I don't think many people had held him. And so when I gave him back to his dad, he went, so sad. I was nervous about it, though. I'm always. Um, Harry, I was just doing a face mask and just starting to wipe it off. I need to get more water on this. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves some more. Did you guys did you watch the Eurovision movie yet on Netflix? Oh, it's cement on my face now. It's never coming off. It didn't get rid of my acne. It didn't do anything. I wanted it to be like magic. Oh, thanks, Reason. Just, there's it. There's another one. There's another one. I could play connect the dots on my acne again. But This is what happens when I wear makeup. And my mask probably hasn't been helping either. Hi, Deo. Not connect four, connect the dots. um, if I move closer, you might be able to see. I'm not exaggerating. Look, look. There's that one. There's one there. 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 There's one on my nose. There. Yeah, it's looking really nice. But, you know, makes me look like a teenager. The secret to looking young is having acne forever. Um, I think my tablet doesn't give a very clear picture either, so... Okay, I won't point out the acne anymore. Here. Here, I'm gonna wear my mask the way so many people do. It's always good not to cover up your nose. It makes a lot of sense. Jennifer, you're funny. Jennifer says, I had to lower the glare on my monitor to shield my eyes from the angelic glow of your face. I wish I had a pen. I could connect the dots. I don't think my husband has a Sharpie in his closet anymore because that kept leading to Sabrina drawing on things. Thank you, Reason. I still haven't gotten a haircut. I haven't had my haircut in over a year. And my hairstylist went on vacation. Oh, thanks, Harry. Yeah, there are a lot of grumpy people. I'm trying not to be one of them. Linda. I've been watching as many funny things as possible. Oh yeah, so Eurovision. Have you guys seen Eurovision? I've had Volcano Man stuck in my head like every day, all day. So something I wanted to do, I don't have a way to play music while I'm live streaming, so I could listen to it on my tablet, but I'm live streaming with my tablet. But I thought it'd be fun just to make up impromptu songs to the best free music that YouTube has to offer. And we do have a speaker that connects to stuff like phones. I don't have one to use. So, but I think that would be fun if I could make that happen. You guys can kind of give me a subject and I could sing maybe some... They don't have enough blues tunes on there, but I know Music Logic has wanted some more blues. Stop Amber Time says, saw on the news a cat got a voter registration in the mail. Yeah. I saw that too, and I laughed. What else has made me laugh in the news? I know there have been plenty of things that made me laugh in the news recently. Okay, I never know if I'm saying your name right. Is it Iikis? Thank you so much for the condolences. And good morning in Australia. Um, so there's still some things I find in the store lately, like cleaning wipes. Um, what else has been missing for you guys? I don't think I want to make a new song about everything that I'm reunited with, but I thought. So I already had the sheet music from Endless Love because it was in a wedding songbook, but I thought another funny one would have been Reunited, it feels so good. That would have been a good one. But I don't have the sheet music. And also, YouTube doesn't have a directory anymore of songs that are allowed or songs that will be blocked if you do a cover of them. So some of them you can um, do a cover and monetize, and others you can do a cover but not monetize. And sometimes it'll just be blocked in certain countries. So I would hate to go and spend the money on music and spend all this time learning it and discover that it's not going to be played for everyone. That would be really frustrating. Here you've had toilet paper fly off the shelves. It was really exciting to go into Costco and see that there was toilet paper there. Because the last time I got toilet paper from Costco was because I have a friend who works there. And so she would say, "Hey, is there anything you want me to look out for?" And I was like, "Oh, toilet paper, please." And yeah, I was really grateful for that. Music Logic says, "I wrote a blues song. It's from a male perspective, but I could change it if you'd like to have a go at it." Yeah, if you wanted to send me some just a blues track, I could just sing something. I don't know what about. Whatever's inspiring me at the moment. When I was in a jazz choir, actually we did this in high school too. We were forced to do blues improv. That wasn't as bad as scatting though. Scatting is really embarrassing to learn in front of everybody, and we would write down all of these syllables, all the possible combinations on the board. But with scat, you really just kind of have to feel it. Scat is that just the blah blah blah, random syllables, and that came about because people would improv on saxophone and stuff, and the singers were like, "Well, I want to do that too." Linda, you can't find yeast? Where are you? Heather, people are trying to make you work. It's lame. That's not what you get paid to do. Oh wait, it is. I thought you got paid to watch my live stream. Sleep well, Jennifer. Oh, Barbara Streisand. I like some of her songs. I'm not a fan of country music unless it's like older country music. Little Mew Maid, you can't find Lysol or vegan food. Yeah, we can't find Lysol either. I have a friend who cleans houses for a living, and she's also high risk, so I told her I would check Costco, and I haven't been able to find what she needs, so it's sad. Oh, Harry, you're multitasking? Music Logic, I like making up lyrics. Don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue? I had a friend when she was little, she thought the lyrics were donuts make my brown eyes blue. Oh yeah, Karen Carpenter. She has a very distinct voice. I think it's really cool how you're never going to mistake anyone else as Karen, right? I think we have her Christmas album. ABBA's good. ABBA's like one of those timeless bands, you know? Okay, Linda, you're in Rhode Island. So a while back, I got some yeast from a friend who was getting it from a baker. Usually they do baking classes, but since they couldn't have any people there for classes, they started selling off the yeast. So I still have pretty decent sized Tupperware of that. And then when I gave some of my cleaning wipes to my friend for her cleaning business, I felt like we had enough to cover it. She brought over a jar of yeast for me. So if you're desperate, I can mail my jar to you if you want to email me. Oh, you guys talking about Karen Bates scammers? She's awesome. Yeast does have a use by date. Um, the the jar I was given is good until 21, I think. Oh, thank you, Icus. Paper Roses. I don't think I know that song. Harry, yours doesn't have a date. You can also put yeast in the freezer. Yeah, so Linda, email me at musicisarainbow@gmail.com. Well, thanks for coming, Stop Hammer Time. I've never made Amish starter bread. I check for cleaning products at Home Depot and Staples. It's a good idea. There's also places you can order from, like places that janitors order from and that sort of thing. That was one of my husband's ideas that he told me to send to my friend. Oh, I need a better chair in here. On this like rickety sewing stool thing. It's not comfortable. Okay, Linda, yeah, I'd be happy to send. I don't really bake that often, and the yeast that I do have, I think it'll last me a good while, and I think some places are selling yeast here, so. Okay, thanks, Reason. Harry says you should do some cooking demos for those of us who are challenged in terms of cooking. I want to do some more cooking demos, and this is kind of where I've been struggling. after months of just constant, what am I cooking for the family now? And everyone being home, I've gotten so burnt out. Um, and I think the family has too. Like the kitchen is usually just a mess, and then, oh, I should make a cooking video, but first I have to scour the kitchen, and it's we do multiple loads of dishes a day, and it just gets really, really old. And yeah, I missed yeah. I wish I could hire someone to come in. It's just, I don't know. It's just been kind of a poopy time. Here, you make a good toasted cheese. Oh, good night, Charles. Um, yeah, I feel like I'm constantly thinking about what do I cook for the family now, and which it's usually not a big deal, but I hate going to the store. And if I come up with something new that I want to make, then, oh, this now involves a shopping trip and stressing out over whether I'm exposing myself to anything or not. And um, it's like a mandate in our state now that you have to wear a mask in all public places unless you're outside and you can stay 6 feet away from everyone. But if you go into like Costco, they won't let you in unless you're wearing a mask. But there are still quite a few people who, after they get let in, they'll take their mask off or they'll just put it underneath their chin. So you go there thinking, okay, maybe it'll be all right. But then you walk by an entire family that's decided to take their mask off. And I guess that's the difference for me because it's not like cooking for my family is a new thing. It just, yeah, planning for it and shopping has just kind of become an ordeal, and it's frustrating. Hi, Suze Marie. How are you doing? Oh, I don't know how many cases we have in our area now. I'm not really even paying attention anymore because I'm just focusing on what I can do to not spread it and to keep my family safe. I just, after months of this, you can only fixate on it for so long, and it's just not something I can control. But our area was the epicenter basically for our country, and so we've been dealing with lockdown stuff since I think March 14th. So it's been quite a while. I'm sorry to hear that, Harry. So yeah, lots of people are still debating whether they should have to wear one or not, and we're in Washington State. It was March 14th when I think our kids came home from school. Was it 13th or 14th? Came home from school and basically said, school's kind of over now. Um, Harry, my kids are doing pretty decent. My one of my sons' best friend is moving, and they're moving because his parents got sick of how strict the lockdown was here. So they're moving to another state where I think it's about to get strict there. So I hope they don't regret that. Because I think it's a possibility wherever anyone moves. I kind of wish we could have done things. I mean, we didn't know a lot of stuff at the beginning, but I kind of wish we could have done things modified from the beginning. Um, to say, well, how about we do this? And we all wear masks. But um, one of my friends had to move out of state, so she was the manager of a new ice cream shop, and it was doing pretty well. But because they were opened less than a certain amount of time, they weren't eligible for government assistance. And this was especially frustrating because my friend has really struggled as a single mom. And so things were finally stable for her, and now she had to go move in with her son because here she is jobless because for some reason that shop wasn't allowed to stay open. But uh, but then there's like donut shops who could stay open, so I'm not really sure what's so different between ice cream and donuts. There doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason to why this store can stay open but this store cannot stay open. um, and they could have done just like curbside, here's a pint of ice cream. It didn't have to be like an ice cream cone. um, yeah, Harry, it's hard to know how to guide my kids through this when you're like telling them no to everything. No, you can't go play in your friend's pool in her backyard. And I'm talking about one of those small pools. It wouldn't really be possible to stay 6 feet away from each other, at least for very long. Um, so it's hard constantly telling my kids, you can't do this fun thing or this fun thing, and no, you can't pet grandma's dog because if if we have the virus and we get it on the dog, then the dog gets it on grandma and grandpa. Um, so I've just tried to make the time extra special and make lots of special meals and stuff. But it's like hard to guide my kids through this when this is like a new experience for me. And for me, I always feel like I have to have something to look forward to and something to plan for um, in the future. Not just something like, what are we doing tomorrow, but what am I doing 3 months from now that I can work towards? And normally that was my concerts um, in Seattle. Usually I had 5 concerts per year in Seattle. And right now, I don't know when we're ever going to be able to sing as a choir again. Hi, Donna. And with all of the crazy things going on in Seattle, I don't know if we'll ever perform in Seattle again. I don't know if any of us would feel safe going there. Diana says, I went to Home Depot and Target Friday. It was the first time I had been anywhere besides the doctors and dog sitting for my daughter when she went out. Oh, I think she went out of town since mid-February. It's really weird. Yeah, it does feel weird when you go somewhere new. Um, we have limited seating in restaurants now. So on one hand, you're supposed to wear a mask in public places, but of course you have to take your mask off to eat. And so I went to pick up a salad for myself, and then they said, is this to here, or is this for here or to go? And there was no one in the restaurant at all. And I realized, I could just enjoy a nice moment of peace here. And it felt a lot safer than going to the grocery store where people don't keep their distance and a lot of people don't have a mask on. So that was a really weird feeling, just eating a salad out of a nice bowl that was in a carry-out box. I felt kind of more human, and at the same time, it was a little nerve-wracking. So I find myself when I go to do something now, I'm like, okay, I should mark mentally in my brain where I went and on what date, and then if I get sick a couple weeks from now, then I might know where I got it from. So Yeah, and as far as school goes, I'm probably going to homeschool Sabrina for kindergarten because I feel like I'm home anyway, and so if I can make the school less crowded, that's fine because I think they're not going to be allowed to play in the playground. They're not going to be able to be close to each other, and that's really not the kindergarten experience I want her to have. I think she would have a better experience at home with me, and then we could meet friends at the park and have a picnic or something as long as the weather's good. Of course, when winter comes, it's going to get more difficult, but um, yeah, I don't know how she would tolerate wearing a mask um, for hours on end. And for our older kids, I haven't even read much of the email because I know it could be changed at any moment. Like they kept emailing us about how graduation was going to go. They would say, okay, looks like we're not going to have a graduation. Oh, we're going to have a modified graduation. And then they would change how that was going. And I got email fatigue because the school actually emailed me and said, we're going to send an email tomorrow about graduation. I just about lost it. Like, why are you emailing me just to tell me you're going to email me tomorrow? So here I had two high schoolers, and all of their teachers are emailing once in a while. And there were all these technical difficulties. And so I had a kid or two who, and they were like losing it because of the technical problems. And it's like one of my kids would be doing their math and they would enter the correct answer, but the program would tell them they got it wrong and it would say, this is what the answer is. And it was the answer that they gave. And so they got an F on the assignment and then tried to get a hold of their teacher to let them know there was a problem. And then it said, address unavailable. So they couldn't even get a hold of their teacher. It was so annoying. And so, but you know, they modified things. Sorry. Can you see me? Oh, hi, Terry. So the end of the school year, they said you can boost your grade one grade, but your otherwise your grade is like frozen from where it was the beginning of the term or something. So this upcoming year, it will be online school, but you know they're obviously going to have to make the grades count. But we're still going to be dealing with kids doing school where they're kind of in crisis mode if people are still getting sick and people are getting laid off. And plus, we've got teachers who are trying to teach and they have their own children at home. And oh my gosh, that sounds like a nightmare. Hi, Tim. So, yeah, this is not a scenario I ever imagined. I never thought to myself, like, how would I mother if we were quarantined for months on end? And what would I do for my children? And how would I make them feel better about not getting to see their friends and even family that lives close by? It's just, it's a very strange life right now. And I'm kind of sick of um, just constantly communicating online. Like, I like to multitask. I like to um, clean and like talk on the phone at the same time, but people like to text instead of talk on the phone. But this is not a productive way to talk. So I'm like, I want to be social. I want to keep in touch with my friends, but I need to get things done. And yeah, I feel like it's just a constant assembly line of dishes in our house. Cooking dishes, cooking dishes. Just feels unending. So I did a paid study recently where I got like a $75 gift card for that. And so I was thinking when we get closer to Eric leaving, I'll probably get some carry out and at least give myself a break from cooking and do paper plates or something. That'd be something to look forward to. Oh, thanks, Iacus. And there's something fun I'm hoping to do before Eric leaves. It just involves, it's kind of a expensive activity and a long drive. And my car needs to go in the shop, so we'll see about that. Oh, it's weird to think that the next time we'll see him will be at Christmas. So they said he can come home for Christmas. And so I'm thinking in that case, do we keep the bunk bed up and the top bunk, the railing is like breaking off in places for Andrew. That's like a metal bunk bed. And so I don't want to replace it with another bunk bed if Eric's not going to be living at home full time. But then when he comes home to visit, then I guess he'll be sleeping on the couch. Yeah, Harry, we're trying to make memories, and at the same time, Eric's trying to connect with friends as much as he can because, they're going to be off and doing their own thing. And, he'll get to keep visiting his family in the future, but, friends is more uncertain. Yeah, Harry, Eric and Andrew share a room, and with the bed being broken, it's still usable. Maybe Andrew will start using the bottom bunk, and I don't know. We also need a new bunk bed for the girls' room, but we need it to be one that's lower because Carmen has this, well, not Carmen, but both of them. They have this this long window. It's not one that opens, and it's not really the type that you would put like blinds on, but it's higher up. But if you had a bunk bed a certain height, then she'd be sleeping right in front of the window. And hi, neighbors. So there's this lower bunk bed that I've seen at IKEA that would have her below the window. I think. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I hope it all goes smoothly for Eric, and I'm kind of concerned about what if there's a COVID breakout at boot camp and how that all works out. So, of course, if you talk to recruiters about it, they're just going to tell you whatever because recruiters are liars. Donna says, the only ones I see is my granddaughter and her husband and my 2 great-granddaughters because they are quarantined in their home and no contact with anyone and do groceries online and are delivered. That's awesome. My parents have been doing a weekly online order, and they've been adding 4 gallons of milk to their order, and they drop it by to us, which is awesome. I kind of started trying to do my orders online, and I don't know, it just, it overwhelmed me. Like, we have so much to buy for our family. I don't know, it was just taking forever, and there's always something I forget, and I'm going to end up running to the store anyway. And we have to replenish the milk like every few days. We drink a lot of milk in our family. So we go through like 10 gallons a week, and you can't fit that in the fridge. So there's no getting around it. You're going to go twice a week. And when this all started, you couldn't say, hey, I want some groceries delivered tomorrow. They would say, yo, we can deliver it to you like 5 days from now. So that made ordering food twice a week like pretty impossible too. Thanks, Tim. Hannah says I need a cow or two. Yeah, cows would be amazing. So, I think when Eric goes to bed, I'm going to edit the video that I did today with the vacation scammer. The you've won a vacation. Um, of course, I was Sylvia again. I can get away with rambling about random stuff as Sylvia. Music Logic says, I love the look on American faces when they see how milk comes in plastic bags in Canada. I think my friend, um, who's Canadian, I think she put up a photo of that one time. See, when I was in Austria, I thought it was like boxed milk or something like that. Hi, Art Lady. Yes, I'm telling myself this is not going to last forever. But then when people are fighting over how best to handle the situation, um, it starts to feel like it's going to last forever. That's, I've just kind of gotten to the point where we're doomed. I know people just they feel how they're gonna feel and believe what they're gonna believe, and their minds won't be changed about things until someone close to them is affected. So I have been following this family. I think I've talked about this before. They're in New York, and the husband, he's 38 years old and was perfectly healthy. He got coronavirus and he no longer has it, but he has been on a ventilator for over 100 days. And they used, yeah, they had to do a tracheotomy and they ended up doing a trach collar so that he could practice breathing without the ventilator. And he talked for the first time in 4 months and I'm just thrilled. So I don't even know this family personally. The wife is friends with my friend Jennifer, and just ever since I first learned about them, I check her Facebook every day, and I'm just cheering them on, just really hoping that he'll be a success story. And it's really amazing that he has made it through this. So he also had a stroke, or I don't know if it was a mini stroke, but he did have a stroke. But he's been able to do some writing too. And they have 6 kids, and he hasn't seen his kids this entire time. And he didn't see his wife for I think 8 or 9 weeks, and she finally basically demanded, the only thing we haven't tried is me coming in to visit him. And that did seem to make a big impact. And they also tried doing a stem cell treatment. So it's hard to say what worked more, stem cells or his wife coming in to see him. But he's been kept alive by both the ventilator and something called ECMO. So he was also having issues with his liver and stuff. And that's one of the ways that coronavirus affects people. So it's not just a respiratory thing. Um, it yeah, wreaks havoc. And then my cousin Lisa, she's been writing articles about her experience because she's one of the COVID patients who, um, after months, hasn't recovered. Like her fevers keep coming back, her shortness of breath, and all of that stuff. And so she has like a support group that she's in, and they all kind of compile their information, and they have like a monthly newsletter about what's going on with them. Uh, so, yeah, I'm very mindful. Um, she's also 38. Like there are 3 people I know who are 38 and ended up being very seriously ill when they're very healthy. Like my cousin, she's a yoga instructor and she loves hiking, and now she can't like do the things with her kids that she was able to do before. And that's been of course, very difficult. Thank you, Suze Marie. Um, and my cousin, she lives very far away from me, so I haven't seen her in a long time. But it's hard just reading about what she's been going through, and she thinks she would have been in the hospital if it weren't for her husband taking care of absolutely everything. And they have young kids, and at least a couple of her kids had symptoms, and it was assumed that they had it. And then one of her kids got what's called COVID toe, which shows there was like a circulatory thing where the toe turns like purple or something. So, people point out that, oh, X amount of people die from the flu, but I've never personally had a friend die of the flu, and all of my friends who have had actual influenza, they make a full recovery. Um, with coronavirus, there are like lasting effects and lung damage with a lot of people. So if I couldn't sing, if I had like permanent lung damage, I would be absolutely devastated by that. Of course, much worse would be losing my life, but um, like I thrive on music, and yeah, it would just kill me if I weren't able to sing again. Thanks, Lynn. I hope things get better soon too. Oh, Linda, I'm sorry to hear about your neighbor's nephew. Oh, thank you, Tim. Tim was asking everyone to hit the like button. So I'm not sure how much battery I have left on this. So lately my tablet, it won't charge to 100%. It's been charging to about 70% now, and it keeps getting a little bit less and less, and I'm not sure how to fix it. Like, I did have one day where it finally charged to 100 again, and then it went back to just going to like 70 something. Diana says, I've been really bad since the end of February. My doctor thinks I have it, but it's hard to tell because all of my other health issues. It's extremely hard in Arizona to get a test. I'm sorry. I really hope you don't have it. At the same time, when you are sick, you want to know what the cause is. It's really frustrating to be told that you don't know. Thank you, I Kiss. Terry says today California had to close a lot of businesses that had just last week were allowed to reopen. People need to follow the rules if they want businesses to be open, to be able to stay open. Yeah, I totally understand why people don't want to wear masks. I understand that it's uncomfortable, but I wish everyone would just do it. Just do it for science. You know? Just do it. And if things don't improve, then you can say, see, I was right. But we really don't have a lot of options other than trying to use a mask to not spread it to other people and just assume that you do have it and are not contagious yet. It's the same way with the flu. You're actually contagious with the flu, I think a few days before you get it, and that has like an incubation period of a week or something like that. Um, the mask debate has gotten very tiresome. I just feel like nothing is going to change anyone's mind except for having someone close to them get it or getting it themselves. Um, and some people are getting it and don't even know how they got it. Um, so it's a helpless feeling, and I think there are people who have a hard time accepting that something bad could happen to them. And like there are people, if someone gets cancer, they will actually tell that person, well, I think this is why you got cancer. I think it makes them feel better to think that they have some control over whether they get it or not. And I understand people, um, when they say there are other negative effects, there are people with depression because of the lockdown, um, and then the effects of hi Amy, the effects of not being able to support their family, and all of those things. Like I totally understand that, and I don't think it's selfish to want to support your family. Um, I feel like more places could stay open if everyone wore a mask, but then people say, well, it's my right not to wear a mask. But what that translates as is it's my right to spread the virus. Um, so it's not a new thing to wear a mask. Like when you go to a doctor's office, they will have masks there, and it says, if you have a cough, put a mask on. That's been that way for decades, and you do that so that you won't spread your germs to everybody else in the office. With coronavirus, it's just supposed to be an assumption. Like even if you don't feel sick, you might be spreading it just by breathing and talking. So you wear it so that you're not spreading it to other people. And so the idea is that we all just assume that we have it, and it's still not going to be perfect. But yeah, like I said, it's a tiresome subject. I've grown weary of it, and yeah, it's hard to have hope of things getting better and kids having normal school again when we can't get on the same page. And it'd be great if we all had masks that would stop us from catching it. Um, and you know, if the masks were made to protect yourself from getting it, then I could say, okay, if you want to get coronavirus, go ahead. If someone said they didn't want to wear a mask and they didn't have to, then I could feel like, oh, all right. If you want to get coronavirus and you're not concerned about it, then you know, kind of like, you know, it's your choice as to what you eat. You might get sick from it. Well, um, but I feel like going around without a mask is kind of um, more like drunk driving, and someone saying it's my right to drink and drive. Well, it doesn't just affect you; it affects other people. All right, we'll stop talking about the masks now. All right, catching up on comments. Yeah, Amy says local hospitals are filling up. Hard to know what to think. I am way more trusting of my friends who work in healthcare than I am of other certain people. Um, I won't name who the people are. But for my friends and family who I've known for many years, who are nurses and doctors and stuff, if they tell me things are bad, um, I believe them. It's not a conspiracy. Things are getting bad in Utah. I have a friend who is a nurse there, and she has expressed how things are getting bad. And yeah, I feel terrible for people who work in that industry because they have to deal with very heartbreaking situations while exposing themselves. Hi, McPinky! So, oh, I don't know if you can see it yet, but I just had, so I have a merch shelf, and I was hoping that we would get the ability to make masks because, like, I have a mask that a friend made. It's just a, pretty design, but I wanted one that says 6 feet on it, and so I just designed one that says 6 feet, and I ordered one from myself. That's how I do merch. I design it and then I buy it from myself. It's a very successful business venture. McPinky says, steps in, looks, wolf whistles at Le Amaze Quarantine. Oh, you got whooping cough? That sounds like a nightmare. I've seen videos of people with that, and oh my gosh. Um, so my boys had never had croup. Well, Andrew got croup when he was 8, and that was bizarre because I didn't think a kid that old could get it. And whenever my friends talked about croup, I had no idea what they were talking about. Like, what is that? So, in case you don't know what it is, a virus that would give an adult like laryngitis that affects small children much more severely, and they will start wheezing, and that wheeze is called stridor. And so the windpipe will get inflamed, and it can be life threatening. And so Carmen ended up getting it, and I knew exactly where she got it from because I had gone to my boys' school with her, and the moment I walked into the foyer, there was this kid coughing his head off. And the mom liked to volunteer at school, and she would bring him in a stroller. And I said, "Is he okay?" And she goes, "Oh, it's just croup. The doctor says he's not contagious after 3 days." So exactly 7 days later, we were at the ER with Carmen, and the nurse said, "You should send that lady the bill for this." So they had to give her steroids, and luckily, things were good. She actually got croup 2 times, and she was fine as long as she didn't cry. So we had to just kind of do everything we could to make her happy. Soup really helped a lot. Steam helps, taking them out into the cold air. And so it was years later, we had some friends over to play games with us, and it was midnight, and Andrew came out of his room struggling to breathe and was making the most terrifying sounds I had ever heard. Like, he sounded like a barking seal. And I was thinking he suddenly has asthma or something. And I was going to drive him to the hospital immediately. And as soon as we got outside, he was like, "Oh, I feel a little better." And I went, "Oh my gosh, you have croup." So we still went to the hospital because I knew if we came inside, it was going to get bad again. And I mean, and he lost his voice like totally. And here's the funny thing. My brother, he gives my kids loud presents on purpose to be a jerk. He will give it to them and he'll watch them open it like this. Turd. So we've made like videos for him where we're like singing happy birthday, and we're using all the loud stuff he ever gave them. So he gave my kids a cowbell to play with. I guess that was one of the not quite as horrible gifts, but it actually came in handy because Andrew couldn't talk at all, couldn't make any noise, and he was in the room right next to us. And I said, "Ring the cowbell if you need something." Um, it was so bad, and he kept like coughing until he threw up, and he had this medication he was given, and he couldn't keep the medication down because he kept throwing up, and it was really stressful. And then the doctor said there was a good time or good chance to be hospitalized because he said, this will probably peak tonight, and he had a fever and was just having a really rough time. But thankfully he wasn't hospitalized. But like Andrew is like my really healthy kid, but when he gets sick, he gets freakishly sick. Like the rare times that he does. But yeah, it drives me nuts. I'm like, that lady who volunteered at the school, she was not urgently needed. Like, there was no reason. She needed to take her toddler into the school with her with that nasty cough. It just, I don't understand it. So, I even heard of someone in town, they were waiting on their COVID test, and they went to Fred Meyer shopping, and actually said, "Oh, waiting on my COVID test." And people like who within earshot just freaked out. Like, what is wrong with you? If you suspect you have it, why are you here shopping? Like, I know so many people in this town who would do shopping for, they probably wouldn't even make them pay for it. They go, "Give me your shopping list. I'll go do it for you." This is ridiculous. Oh, hi, Jay. Good morning in the UK. What did I miss with the Spinal Tap conversation? So yeah, people are weird with illness. I don't understand why they feel like they're so important. They just need to go out in public anyway. I mean, yeah, you need groceries, but there are other ways to get groceries. But the lady who volunteered at the school with a sick kid, it just makes me so mad. Art Lady says, I found a YouTuber who created a face hugger mask today. Face hugger. That sounds fun. Oh, Tim says the next town next to me, they will not let anyone go to the beaches if you don't live in the town. That's, yeah, that's pretty smart. I think after people have been locked up here, I'm live streaming in here. Not sure if my husband's coming up or not. Um, anyway, after people have been locked up, I think now they want to go hit the beaches and stuff, but that means, oh, now they need to eat while they're there, and they need to take their family to the bathroom and stuff. So beach towns that have been less affected, I think, are going to have an increase this summer because people want to get out of town. And that's the one thing that makes me hesitant about going to this. There's this, it's called the Olympic Game Farm. Like, it's a drive-through zoo sort of thing, which is great. But I'm realizing while we're there, we're going to have to take the family to the bathroom. So I want to bring food with us, so at least exposing anyone at a restaurant or anything. So I want to make memories with my son before he leaves. But I also don't want to spread any disease around or catch any disease. Hi, Trevor. Hey, doctor. You have to do doctor stuff? Tim, you got a kid pool for yourself? That's fun. Amy says, "Moms get away. People are desperate. It's a shame." Yeah, mom getaways. It sounds pretty tempting, but yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, "I'm the violinist from California. We spoke quite a while ago. Could you sing something?" What to sing? Usually when people ask me to sing something, I can't remember the lyrics. All right. I will sing something before I go. Amy. Ave Maria with no accompaniment. I don't know. I have a couple recordings of that one. Oh, now that I've been talking and talking, I'm not sure if I'm prepared for Ave Maria. Oh, okay. Good night, Linda. I can do Amazing Grace. I think I know the first verse. Hi, Verna. Yes, violin is wonderful. I'm not drinking out of a vase. I'm drinking out of a giant cup. I drink lots of water. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'll be able to travel. Oh, let me warm up my singing voice. Oh. Okay. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. There you go. My personal favorite? I don't know what my personal favorite is. Ooh, doctor, I'm so sorry you had COVID. That sounds miserable. Thank you. I tried singing it under a bridge one day and I had tons of wind and I kind of gave up on it, but the bridge has cool acoustics. Hi, Bloom and Flourish. Oh, thanks, Art Lady. I'll try to do a nice video where I do Amazing Grace and have some I don't know, instead of just sitting here in a live stream where it's probably buffering. Oh, it's okay, Elizabeth. People often ask me to sing. I wish I had a way, had like another device here to look up lyrics. Tim, you took a trip to your mailbox? That is so fun. Did you have any junk mail? Because that's my favorite part. School's out for summer. School's out forever. It does feel like forever. Kind of. Oh my gosh, doctor. Doctor says COVID is like having an elephant sit on your chest while you gargle on tar. Wow. Oh, thank you, Amy. Amy, did you see my romantic toilet paper video yet? Hi, Javon. Did I say your name right? Oh, I have 15% battery. It's giving me a warning message. Oh, Amy, please, Amy, I want to talk on the phone to you while you while you watch it. That's probably the most embarrassing video I've ever made. If I had a camera crew, I could have made it just even more amazing. I said Javon's name correctly. That is my big accomplishment of the day. Javon. Javon, I made a very romantic video about a love affair that I had. It's like my most recent video. What did I title that? It's called Singing Endless Love with Toilet Paper. It's very romantic and touching. I sing the girl part and the guy part. I don't sound like Lionel Richie though. Sorry. Trying to decide which is my second most embarrassing video I've ever made. I think. I don't know. Oh, Javon, you don't want to miss it. Yeah, my husband did some of the camera work for that video. You sing in bog paper? What does that mean? So, I have to get going because my battery is dying. It'll probably kick me off. I don't like to end abruptly. Plus, I already said I was going to go. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're stay healthy and be able to support your families and everything. I've been worried about so many people. Oh, bog paper is the same as bog roll, which is the same as toilet roll. Gotcha. You have a beautiful night too, Javon, whose name I know how to say. Javon. I should write a song about Javon. This has been almost 2 hours long. I always think it's going to be like, an hour maybe. Hi, Kevin. Am I singing with you, Kevin? I sing with Kevin. And Kevin can verify that I really am this abnormal. I like to prank people. It's fun. Alrighty. I will talk to you all later, and I will probably have a new video up tomorrow. Thank you, Suze Marie. It's not hard to say goodbye because like new messages keep coming up. And thank you again for the super chats. You guys are so awesome. All right. Good night, everyone.